Hey guys, this is Fashion Let's Talk Podcast. I am your host, Sharonda, and today we have a show for you. We will be featuring an amazing guest, Michelle Lisseth. She is the CEO and owner of Michelle L Management. She started out as a fashion stylist to the stars, featuring Mary J. Blige, My Life album cover. Yes. While Mary is celebrating the 25th anniversary, we discussed that. We also discussed her celebrating the anniversary of Jay-Z's 25th anniversary for Reasonable Doubt album. And yes, she styled that album as well. We also will be talking about how she is also the marketing project manager for their FUBU line. When I say, and that is another 25th anniversary celebration. This fashion guru and extraordinaire has been doing many things for the fashion and music industry and many different creative artists in the industry. And here on Fashion Let's Talk, we will be saluting her. And when I say you are not going to want to miss this interview, trust me, you're not. She is giving us all of her in this interview, and I am so appreciative, and I know you guys are going to love it. So listen in, stay tuned, and welcome to Fashion Let's Talk Podcast, and enjoy this amazing interview. Stay tuned. Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties of everything. For some reason, I couldn't hear you, but you're back and I hear you well.
Oh, good.
So thank you for just joining us at Fashion Us Podcast.
Thank you.
I appreciate you just taking the time out to even join us. I know you had a busy schedule, and I just needed to just really highlight all of you. So I wanted to introduce you to our audience. Today we have the amazing, talented owner and CEO of Michelle Management, which is the stylist, photographer, brand, event management company to the stars and to the fashion and music industry. I want to introduce you to Michelle Lisseth.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, gorgeous. Oh my God. Now,
Thank you.
many people probably recognize your work, but your genuine, beautiful smile and you're so humble, where a lot of people don't know all that you've been a part of and all the iconic major moments in music and fashion history that you helped escort or was a part of. If we can just start off by just, for one, me having a moment witnessing you on Amazon #1 documentary, Mary J. Blige, My Life documentary. Like, how major was that just to even be a part of it? It was major watching you, but what was it like experiencing that?
It was amazing. It was real. It was heartfelt. When I was asked to do it in the very beginning, I was shocked. Like, oh my God, you want me to be a part of it? And
Really?
Mary and her assistant were like, we're doing a 25th anniversary documentary of my life. Michelle, you were there. You were a part of the whole journey. We need you to be in it. And I've never been interviewed. I've never been really interviewed, period.
Are you serious? On this large scale? Like
on that large scale, on a platform like that,
Amazon.
Never. Amazon, which is like a monster of all movies and everything media. It was just an honor, and I was very nervous, but also at the same time, I couldn't make any mistakes because I was telling my truth, you know, and I was so nervous, but also emotional because they asked me a lot of questions about certain situations that I kind of buried. And it was certain situations that I always said, I'm going to take this to the grave with me. I'll never repeat it. So to have to
But
open
Mary
up.
asked you to
Yeah.
be part of it. This wasn't just something that you was just saying out there, and that's what I loved about it. You
Yeah.
saw a girl code
Yeah.
with your friendship, your sisterhood. How did this relationship even started? Because you also was the stylist for My Life
Yes.
album cover. Like,
Correct. Yeah.
you were the stylist. How did that even become? Like, please share that moment with us.
It was, at the time I was dating JoJo of Jodeci.
Wow. And this is how your friendship developed.
That's how our friendship developed. During that time, she was dating Casey and she was engaged to Casey. So obviously, the two brothers and their girlfriends, connect. And we
Wow.
automatically became not only a family, but like sisters. We
True
had a
sisters.
sisterhood. Yeah. And a true sisterhood. And her and I became really close. She loved my style. I had my Harlem swag, and she
Yes.
loved.
Oh, I love that. My
Harlem.
Harlem Queen. I love that. Anything
Yeah.
that we do, I have to highlight that. That's why this is so monumental, like somebody from Harlem.
Yes, born and raised, and
Right.
she loved my Harlem swag, and she was like, you know what, I want to do something different for my album cover. And I was like, well, what's the name of your album? And because she had just finished the 411. What's the
Oh my
411?
God.
And she said, it's called My Life and it's about me. And she was like, I want you to help me with my album cover. Like, what should I wear? Like, how should I look? And she was like, I like the way you dress. I love people from Harlem. I love the whole Harlem vibe, the whole Harlem aesthetic. And I said, well, okay, I think you should wear like this hat and you need 2 long braids coming down. And she was like, oh,
Like,
wait.
do you know you are the creator of this iconic look that we all, not only in Harlem, Yonkers, the Bronx, Staten Island, Brooklyn, everybody was looking this way, walking this way. They wanted to be Mary J. Blige, and you were part of creating that feel, that look, that iconic look.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's so fun. Like, the hat came from 86th Street in Manhattan. Like, I found the leather hat and I was like, girl, I got the leather hat. And they had it in red. They had it in different colors, but it was a genuine leather hat.
Oh my God.
And we had her hairstylist do these braids, and Puffy saw it. Puffy loved it. He was like, that's it. That's the look. That's the look. With the leather jacket, the cat suit, the combat boots. And that was her look throughout the entire...
What is so crazy? Everyone thought Diddy was the one that really, really sculptured the whole Jodeci and Mary J. Blige look. But honestly, Michelle, it was you.
Well, I can't take credit for Jodeci. I will say...
No, I'm giving you credit. You know why? Because not only were y'all connected, not only on a relationship level, but you knew the feel of the group and everyone. You was around everyone. So you knew, that's why that look was so authentic for all of them.
Right.
You get what I mean?
True.
Like, you weren't just putting something on them. You was really helping them create the lifestyle that they actually live, their mood, their look, their singing. Like, Michelle, it was you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
It's crazy. Now, when that iconic album came out, you also was a part of Jay-Z, which you were the one that introduced Mary J. Blige to Jay-Z, which is his Reasonable Doubt, Can't Knock the Hustle song with him and Mary J. Blige. Like, Michelle, you was part of that. Please share that, because this is the 25th anniversary for both of them, Mary J. Blige and Jay-Z. Album cover. This was iconic moments. Can you give us a glimpse of what that was like?
The Jay-Z job came through Damon Dash, you know, at the time.
Another Harlem.
Yeah,
Harlem. We stick
but
together.
here's the ironic part. Damon Dash was my next door neighbor.
No.
Yeah. And he knew what I was doing. He was like, "Oh, you know, I saw what you did with Mary J. Blige and her album cover."
God.
And he's like, "I love all of that." He was like, "I have an artist named Jay-Z." He was like, "I want you to do his album cover." And I was like, "You want me to do?" And I was like, "Who's Jay-Z?" You know, I mean, it's funny.
Oh
to
my
say
God!
that
Now these are billionaires. Like
yeah.
you orchestrated a billionaire just for your Harlem connections,
Yeah.
your relationship, your reputation. Go ahead.
And I said, "Well, who's Jay-Z?" He was like, "He's a rapper from Brooklyn, and I represent him, me and Biggs, and he's gonna blow up. And I, you know, now that you're on the up and coming and stuff like that, I want you to do
doing it
cover.
too.
You know, since you just did Mary's, I need Mary's girl to do Jay-Z. You know, why not?" And I was like, "Okay." And you know, the following week, I was really, really sick. I had the flu, and it was during the time that I had to go shopping for Jay-Z. And I called Damon. I said, "Damon, I'm so sick. I have the flu." He said, "I don't want to hear it. Get up, get dressed. Let's go. This is important." And I did. I got up with a fever.
Oh my God, the hustle.
Yeah,
the
fever.
hustle.
And I got in the back of the truck with Damon Biggs in the front seat, and I was laid out. And they were like, "Where are we going, Michelle?" And I was like, "We're going to Versace on Fifth Avenue." I couldn't even talk.
Oh my God. People don't understand all that comes along with creating this look. So this suit is a Versace suit that was visually created by you. Jay-Z, most iconic favorite album, which was celebrated the 25th anniversary. Again, like, Michelle, what does that feel like to know that you were a part of these iconic moments and these iconic artists' life, their favorite albums, their most precious albums? You were a part of that. What does that feel like?
It still hasn't hit me yet.
How?
It's been so long, you know, even back then, like when it came out, you know, and it made such a big impact on everyone and their fans and how they blew up off of it. I was like, "Oh my God." But I was afraid of it. I'm going to be honest. And that's just how I truly felt. Like, I was just afraid, like, this is bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I just was like, all right, I'm going to sit down. You know, I was just like, I'm scared. Like, why? I never thought that I would be able to accomplish something like that. I didn't realize that it was going to be as big. And I still, to this day, I look at it and I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Like, what? You know, it never got to my head. It never got to a point where I thought I was better than anybody, or you know, look at me, I'm better than you. It was never none of that. It was more humbling, and I was more thankful to God. Like, thank you, God, thank you for showing me that I'm able to do this. Like, I can make an impact, and I could be somebody. I can make a difference. Like, I never knew in my entire life that I would be able to do something like that, and to be given that opportunity and to see it come forth was humbling.
Right.
It was humbling. Like, it wasn't, I took it that way as opposed to taking it a different kind of way and putting my nose in the air and, you know, being like, yeah, I'm that bitch.
Right.
It was more, thank you. Wow. Oh, I'm humbled, you know, and, you know, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that I was a part of it. I'm still humbled by it. And I'm amazed. You
see it in all that you do, all that you are surrounded by, you know, your humble in spirit, your kind heart. Like, it oozes out of your smile even. You know, you really just escort so many talented people to the next level. You know, DJ Khaled right now, his amazing stylist, come from your camp, from, you know, under you. You know, how does, when you see these different moments of, you know, you work with FUBU, you know, right now, also, when these moments of artists and entrepreneurs who are extremely successful, like Damon from Fubu, who was on Shark Tank, these people trust your advice.
Yeah.
Your reputation, like, I can quote Mary saying, is gold in this
Yes.
industry. What did it take for you to stay consistent for all these years? Because artists like Mary J. Blige, they keep their circle tight, very private. Same thing with Jay-Z. And you have to be, when you are a successful entrepreneur and icon in your own right. But it takes something to get to that point. What did it take for you to be able to do what you do for all these artists, for every client that you represent, even under your management company? What did it take for you to achieve that and accomplish that consistently, Michelle?
It was me being, for one, professional, and me seeing that this is what I want to do,
Right.
with my life and with everything that this is where I see myself going. This is what I want to do. So I'm going to treat it as such, like this is my baby. Everyone
Right.
who I work with are my babies. I have to take care of them.
Yes.
It's
and
not,
that's a pressure.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm in it to gain, and
Right.
because they're used to that. They're used to these sharks coming around and doing crazy things and not being real and disappointing them. I'm more along the lines of, y'all are my babies. I have to take care of you. Like I look at it that way. So I'm gonna make sure that everything that I do for you is exact, it's solid, it's right, and you're gonna be happy. And I'm gonna lead you in the right direction.
Did you have that coming into the fashion and music industry? Did you have that same support that you genuinely give to all you have supported?
No. And that's what I always wanted.
Right.
I said, I wish, when I was coming up and I was working as a stylist and I was hustling, and this was before Google and cell phones.
Right.
And we had to use yellow pages to find stuff and call 411 to get addresses. It wasn't, we had beepers,
Right.
It was
It
hard.
wasn't as easy as it is.
Yeah, today you can just Google something and you're in the building, where before it wasn't that easy. You really had to do your research and your footwork. And I remembered back then saying, wow, like I wish I had support. I wish I had somebody that could guide me. I wish I had somebody that could understand what I have to go through and take care of me, so I could be creative, so I could concentrate on my craft. I don't have that. Like this is what's needed in the industry, and it's not available.
This is why Michelle Management is such an amazing platform, umbrella of talented artists, creative artists. The way you protect them, the way you make them shine, where they see their worth on so many levels. It is a blessing to have that. Like you said, it was not easy for us. When you said the 411, I remember looking in the back of the album covers. They literally would give you credit of the director, the stylist. And that's how I was able to see who was the stylist, who was a part of everything.
Right.
And that's how I found like June at the time. And literally called 411 and called like, listen.
Right.
I want an intern. But this is what we had to do. So when you see people who, like you, who have longevity in this industry, and you pass that blessing and knowledge, and you protected the people around you, and look at them like they're billionaires. Michelle, you get what I mean? Like, these are very talented people, and you were a part of their most passionate, loving, favorite, iconic moment. And I just want to salute you for that.
Thank you.
For being able to give that back. What have you ever experienced moments where you literally said, I just want to stop? Like, this doesn't feel like it's worth it, especially as the era change.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced that?
I did, and that's exactly what I did. I stopped. I felt like I was
Me
giving,
too.
giving, and I received no return. A lot of
Right.
times I didn't get credit.
Right.
There was some times where I didn't get paid, and it was
Right.
like
Right.
I've exhausted all of my energy, all of my time, all of my blood, sweat, and tears, and it was to the point where I can't give anymore.
Right.
So what am I
Right.
going to do? I'm going to run myself to the grave, or do I just stop? And I just
Right.
stopped. And when I say I stopped for almost a decade. Like,
I went through that.
Yeah.
I think I went
Yeah.
through the same thing. People don't realize the pressure that
Mhm.
comes along with our journeys. And this is why we do this at Fashion Let's Talk podcast, because we really want to highlight the veterans. We really want to highlight the people who paved the way for so many amazing artists today,
Right.
and that's what you do, Michelle. That's what you specialize in. You
Thank you.
protect
Yeah.
the industry, the artist, the craft. Like, you protect it on so many levels. What are some of the things that, if you could just give us a taste, because I know you got a lot of amazing things coming up, but what are you extremely proud of that you have coming up next?
Coming up next, I am and will be a part of the very first Black-owned restaurant in Times Square.
I can't. Oh my God.
I'll be coordinating it, and the event coordinator for the event.
Congratulations.
And
oh my God.
Huge. It's an honor to be a part of that, because not only is it,
Times Square.
Not only is it Times Square, but it's the first Black-owned restaurant. And that in itself is iconic, it's historic, it's memorable, it's a proud moment. I'm just humbled, thankful, honored, proud to be a part of it. And
we're so appreciative. What is the cuisine that we should expect from this amazing opportunity that you're a part of, Michelle?
Asian fusion.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And it's Black-owned?
And it's Black-owned.
This is what we do.
Fusion. It's not soul food. We love our soul food.
Yes.
But we're gonna be a little different. We're gonna take it up a notch.
I like it. This is what I'm talking about. We are so talented on so many levels.
Yeah.
And I love how now you're stepping into the restaurant industry, and you're really still continuing to highlight our culture, from Harlem to Times Square, with this infused Asian cuisine. What is the vibe that you are preparing for this restaurant? What is the feel that we can expect when we go there with this beautiful cuisine and Asian feel? What are we gonna get?
It's huge. It's a huge space. It's 2 levels, so it's indoor and outdoor. It has a rooftop.
I love it.
The rooftop overlooks Times Square, so you have all the lights and
this is what we doing, Michelle?
This is what we're doing. It's gonna be, the vibe is classy, sexy, elegant swag.
And this is what Times Square needs right now. This is what we need, bringing that sexy sex appeal, that Black-owned style, luxury, classic.
Right.
But with a twist.
Because it's Asian fusion.
Come on.
Yes.
I am extremely excited to, come and experience it and enjoy it.
Yes. You will be right with me. Yes.
Right there, cheering you on, supporting you in every angle of this. I'm just so proud of all that you've accomplished this year, within the 25 years of your success. You're just an amazing person, Michelle. Honestly,
thank you.
And talented. you're so talented, but then you share that. And that's not normal down to your sisterhood. They don't just have you around because not only are you creative, you're talented, you're very resourceful, but you're so genuine and so authentic. And I salute you.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
I
Thank you
salute
so
you.
much.
No, honestly. And I'm proud to have this moment where we can actually sit down and you can share with the audience what it's like to be a professional, successful entrepreneur, Black woman from Harlem. Just had to throw that in.
Yes.
From Harlem. And this is just really the beginning. I know you are not new to this and you are true to this, but there's so much you are about to explore, especially after you just took Amazon whole platform to a number one. I gotta repeat that.
It's
Like
number one. It's the number one
number
documentary in
one
the country.
documentary in the country. Who
I
does this?
was
Like
it's like P. Diddy was on his Instagram, like, oh, because he executive produced the documentary.
Come
And
on.
he's like, yo, we made number one. And I'm like, what? Like, wait, this is too much.
Did y'all celebrate that? Like, no, seriously. Did y'all like really take a moment? You, Mary, Diddy, like
Me and Mary did. Me and Mary did. And you know what? We celebrated at Corner Social, girl. Yes, we surely
in
did.
Harlem.
We was in Harlem, like,
I love
we
it.
was dancing. We had our little section.
I love it.
It was just private. It was just me, her sister, and her two other friends.
It's so beautiful too. Like when your circle is real and it's genuine and it's protected.
Right.
It's so much that us as women can do. And that's what I loved about the documentary. I just saw the sisterhood. I saw the strength in y'all. And then when it became number one, I said, I mean, I'm not shocked, but that felt good for Black-owned, executive produced, Black sisters, sister code, women surviving, and even the artistry, the way they did the picture, it was just so beautifully done.
It was beautifully, and it was digitally created and formatted by a woman.
This is what I mean. That's why I said
that's why it's so beautiful. Yeah.
You felt the sisterhood. You felt the protection. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I felt even watching it, Mary's was protected from the time when she first came out to now, just to see you sitting next to her and watching her youth and you right there still by her side. That was touching. It made me truly emotional, Michelle. I'm not gonna even lie, because I was like, it's such a blessing to have that. You know what I mean? Like, when you have that, remember when we did this still here, people are leaving this earth, they're gone, whether it's through COVID or whatever life has to offer. So when you still can look back at that and laugh and cry and say, we did that.
Right. That's right.
We really did that. And
we did that. We made it through.
We made it through with or without a man. And those guys, they're not here anymore, but we are. We still rocking.
We're still sisters. We're still
sisters.
The best of friends.
Still riders.
Still riding, still hanging.
Still hanging. And that is a gift within itself, a blessing. So I hope women who watched it and who was listening to this podcast, they see the genuine sisterhood in you and us and Mary and the Harlem connection, most importantly, because through this situation, Harlem people, we are genuine. We're very supportive. And I see that in Dane, I see that in me. I see that in you. And I see how Mary, Jay-Z, all these people, Biggs even. He's Harlem too. Like,
he's Harlem, right.
We want to make sure that everybody we are connected with is successful. Mm-hmm. And that's what you do, Michelle.
Thank you.
Every level. So I want to thank you for doing this podcast. Is there anything that you want to shout out? Please give them all your information, how people can get more view and knowledge on you and everything, please list it,
Sure.
share
I
it.
am on Instagram at Michelle L Management. Also on Facebook. You
Yes.
can also catch me at Cipriani. I am one of the event coordinators
I
for
can't wait.
the flagship on 42nd Street. So if you ever need an event or any of the bells and whistles that it comes with, you can contact me there. mlyseth at cipriani.com.
Oh my God.
You catch me on Amazon, and you can catch me. You can just catch me. I'm in the city.
Yes, she's around. She's
I'm
doing
around.
big
Yeah.
things. We're not hiding. We're just, being strategic on what we do. She also does EPKs on artists on so many levels. She even did mine, took my brand to the next level. So
Yes.
please hit her up, hit me up if you need to contact her in any way. I am your host, Sharonda, and Michelle, I appreciate you. I honor you. I thank you. You are a legend in this fashion and music game. I am excited to continue to see every inch of what you have coming.
Thank you.
FUBU, you have that
FUBU
coming up. Brand event. It's a lot going on, and
thank you.
I'm just excited. Anything
Me
else
too.
you want to share? anything that you want to just leave our audience with?
Also check out the new FUBU Suits collection. We orchestrated the whole brand campaign for their line of suits. You can find it on www.fubu.com.
That's another, part of what did you do in supporting their brand? These are people who created that for us, by us, marketing and everything, and they're trusting you. What are you doing with them?
With them, how it started was they had their 25th anniversary.
Again,
so
another iconic moment.
It's
Michelle.
25. I have to play that number.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
That 25.
That 25 is official, baby.
We gotta go to the number spot.
We got to. It's official. That's 3 times.
Yep.
3 is the charm. Ooh.
Is it 25th anniversary, and they were rebranding, coming out with a capsule collection, and they were also collaborating with Puma.
Are you serious? I'm seeing a lot of fashion brands cross promotion and partnering with each other. How is that? How did they even make that happen and trust it? I'm so proud of them for even doing that.
They were like the first to do it. They did it first back in 2017. And
serious?
It was like after that it was like everyone else followed suit. But I have to give them their credit. Like they were the first one to do FUBU times, it was like FUBU times Puma. And nobody was doing that. And I love the whole concept. Like, wait a minute, wow, they're collaborating. So it was like Puma created a line with FUBU attached to it, and it was a capsule collection. It was all red and black. They created a Puma shoe that it was like red bottoms. They were like limited edition. They sold out immediately, and I jumped on it. Once I saw that they were doing it, I introduced myself. I introduced my brand, and I told them what it is that they needed to promote that. And they put me through it. Like, who are you? Like, why should we even? And I was like, listen, this is what you have to do. You need an EPK. You need to vamp up your website. You need social media presence. You need video. You need to hashtag, because they weren't doing that at that time. So they were like, okay. And I gave them that jump start with their rebrand, and they loved it, and they kept me. So I've been working with them as their project manager since 2017.
Oh my God. Now, how official is that when you're part of legendary, once again, Puma brand that's been out for decades, and also with FUBU? But at the same time, FUBU just made Puma on a high-end level. Yeah. As far as the suits on a luxury brand, I'm loving the merger and how you escorted and Puma and Fubu to do this merger together, but on a high end level, even though both of them was more like a sporty brand.
Right. It
That is
was
so.
it was luxury, and it was limited edition, super exclusive. They only had like maybe 100 pieces of each item. So it
Nice.
sold out immediately. They didn't restock. So if you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you missed it. And that's what gave them like the jump start to the rebrand, where now they, just finished their winter collection. They
Oh my
created a
God.
suit line, which is doing really well because their suits have stretch
Really?
in it. So it's the first suit collection for men that have that stretch. You know how like we like our stretch jeans and our stretch pants.
Yes. So it's kind of got like a tailored fit
with
kind of to
stretch,
it, but stretch and comfortable and cozy.
Yeah, like
Nice.
you can leave work and play ball. You can take off your work shoes, put on some sneakers, and play ball with your suit on.
Perfect for the athletes right now.
Exactly.
This is amazing, and it's like an exclusive. When you see how these high-end brands that been around for many years, catering to our culture, but now these official brands like Puma are starting to invest. Do you feel like the whole diversity and inclusivity played a role in these high-end brands now starting to want to merger with the Black designers? Do you feel that played some part, or it helps, or it don't help? What is your feel on that?
Absolutely. It's like we're at this day and time where we are today with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and all of the violence that we have been experiencing. These designers are taking note that we are the epitome of fashion. We're the ones that create the looks. A lot of these high-end designers, they'll come to the ghettos and the urban inner cities.
Come on.
And they'll sit in the park and watch us.
And just watch us.
And you don't know who this person is, and they're sketching in their pad, but
I love that you said this.
They're watching us, and you'll see it on the runway, what we wear in the streets. And you'll see on the runway what we wear costs us $15. They charge me $1,500 for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they get it from us, and now it's starting to click. And now they're starting to see that, okay, we do need to collaborate with them. We do need them.
We do. And give them the credit.
And give them the credit for it. And we do need to publicize our merging with them, because they are the epitome of fashion. They are the ones who created luxury lifestyle with next to nothing. We didn't all grow up with silver spoons in our mouth, but we'll go outside and look like our parents are rich.
And that's the Harlem style in us too. We know how to make anything out of something, and that's our specialty. That's why I love that you said that. Lately we've been hearing a lot on the internet about different designers stealing some of other designers or more local or social media designs collection. What do you feel or could be done as far as licensing deals? Do you feel that there will ever be a point where you can really license your creation in terms of fashion? Do you think that will ever be? Is it possible? Like, how can you really copyright a look when fashion is really about inspiration?
I mean, I feel that you can. I feel that you can copyright a look. It's once you create that look, copyright it right away, so that you own that. A lot of us, we get excited. We created this look. We're getting it made. We're fitting people for it, and they're wearing it, and somebody else is going to take it that's on a higher platform, make 2 or 3 different changes to it, and here now they feel like it's theirs. Meanwhile, you're the one that came up with the whole idea. I feel, it's easier said than done, because it does cost a lot of money. I just feel like there's certain different ways to go about it that, doesn't hurt your pockets as much. These are for the up and coming designers, but for the most part, it is really important, especially when you come up with something that is iconic, that never came out, that nobody has. certain things you have to copyright immediately. Like as soon as you draw it and sketch
Right.
it, copyright that, because somebody's going to take it and they're going to take it to the next level.
And that's your art. That's like you
Yeah,
said in the beginning, it's your baby. And
right.
you want to protect it. Speaking of art and then technology in this era, how do you feel about the NFT? And, there was like a little discussion and little internet buzz about Jay-Z and Dame Dash dealing with the Reasonable Doubt um, album cover. This is the album cover that you basically styled. Do you feel that, and as a fashion stylist, that we should start getting prepared to think of, our art, our creativity, our visual creation for NFTs? And how would you prepare for that, even for the artists that you represent?
You mean as far as visuals? Like,
Yes. Like you represent photographers, makeup artists. This is what we did. And now we're in this new era of NFTs where you can visually and, make money off of these visual arts of pictures or even a social media post. You understand?
yeah.
Now, this is where the money is as far as technology. Are we prepared for that? Do we see that something that the photographers, the makeup artists, as far as their work, their published work?
I feel that, with the published visuals, for instance, my photographer,
right,
whenever he takes a photo, that photo belongs to him. Whenever he clicks that camera and the image that's saved in that camera, that's his. He owns that. And a lot of people fail to realize that. They feel like, well, you took a picture of me. That's my photo. No, I took the picture. I own this.
I own this. I'm the master of this. Yep.
Right. And with that being said, that's where contracts come into play.
Right.
That's
management
and all of that come into play. As far as the Jay-Z and Dame Dash, I'm not really I heard about it. If you could fill me in a little bit, I heard it was something about the visuals. I think the photographer sold the visuals that weren't published. What happened with that?
Or I think Dame Dash was trying to sell his portion of rights to the Reasonable Doubt album cover. And Jay-Z put a stop to it because he owns the rights and felt it was, and this was all for the NFT. So now they can sell, like Mary would even be able to sell the NFT to that album cover because now it's even worth more or anything. And it's down to a post. Even if somebody did a post in 2010, it now has a value. So when you think of the artists that we're representing and creative artists and the rights that they have, it makes me wonder, where should we start to be preparing for, these NFTs as far as our visual published work? And even as a photographer owning that, should that be a budget we start to look into? You know what I mean?
It should definitely be a stipulation that's added into the contract. It should also be explained prior to. The job. Okay, this is what it is. This is what I own. Do you agree to it? This is how much I'm going to get paid. These are your rights to the visual. All of that needs to be explained prior to. As and it gets really tricky with visuals.
It does. Like even video, think about Cardi B. She's in court right now, being sued for, I think, her first mixtape where she's drinking a beer and had someone tattooed between her legs. Well, the tattoo artist now want to sue because visually she didn't give him rights. So it's like, even a tattoo artist, if their work is on someone else's body and it was photographed and it may generate money, now the tattoo artist, it, like you said, it just becomes so technical. But when you having a successful management like Michelle management, it definitely makes you think, where are we going as far as the photography industry
Right.
and the creative side of protecting.
Right. I honestly, I mean, this is my personal opinion. Not that my
Right.
opinion matters, but it's
It
just my
does.
personal opinion.
It does.
That tattoo artist is not gonna get too far
Right.
with the case. I mean, that's just ludicrous. It's ridiculous. First and foremost, okay, yeah, it's your work, but you were
Right.
paid for that tattoo.
Right.
You were paid,
and it was on that person's body, and
it's on that person's
right.
body, and they paid you, so you were compensated. As far as it being on the album cover, I mean, okay, kudos to you. It was on the album cover, but you don't get any residuals off of that. You
Right.
already paid.
Right.
Now, it wasn't like, okay, Cardi hired you to put the tattoo on the back for the album cover. Now that's when it becomes
That's something.
Okay.
Yes.
That's when it's totally different. But it was done prior to, so he has no wins, and that's just my personal tidbit on that.
Management. But this is the management side that people don't realize why it's so important to have a representative who is going through and dissecting every angle that will benefit your clients. Have you ever experienced something where you was like, okay, I gotta really step in and show the Harlem beast in me, even though you're sweet as pie and that smile is just everything, it lights up the room, but this is two sides to all of us. Have you ever experienced the side where you had to go ham for your clients on a professional level?
Yeah, it happens a lot. And it happens a lot with photography. You know, a lot of people, it's like I mentioned before, they say, oh, that's my picture and you took a picture of me and it's mine. And they, you know, that's not how it works. And a lot of, you know, a lot of clients that we have worked with in the past fail to read their contracts.
Right.
You have to read your contracts. The contract states
everything.
Here it is. And they, you know, they feel like, oh, okay, you know, they signed the contract. And then later on, they're like, no, I want all of my photos. I want every photo that you took. No, in the contract states you don't get all of the photos. If you want all of the photos, you're going to have to pay X amount of dollars for all the
photos. And that's
a
whole nother package.
Right. We don't give away raw images. We give away edited images. We pay for a certain amount of edited images. So it's been times where I'm like, did you even read your contract? Like, I have to go there.
No, but you know what? I think it's so important that you have that type of representative that takes the time out to do that, because a lot of people, they may be in the industry, but not professional to the craft or that, you know, that lifestyle. So, you know, a lot of the time the photographers don't want just any pictures out there or that they shot. So they're breaking it down, which they may feel is the best of quality, and then still give you an option to choose. But, you know, a lot of people don't really understand that whole situation. So they be expecting more than what they're supposed to get because it's not needed.
Right. Exactly.
I think you are just doing so well, Michelle. What advice would you give to the next young stylists who see themselves achieving and trying to accomplish all that you've done in this industry, for even everybody else, with your humbleness, your authenticity? Like, what advice would you offer the next young artist, or even someone who's a vet and trying to come back?
I would say, for one, don't give up. You know, keep pressing, keep moving forward. There are no mistakes. There's just lessons. So everything that happens is a lesson. Don't take it as a mistake. Don't feel bad over it and beat yourself up over it, because that just only causes mental stress. So, you know, you just take it as a lesson, like, and you know what to do next time when a situation like that arises. Also, to protect yourself with contracts. You know,
So important.
learn about contracts, even if you have to Google it.
Right.
You know, even if you go on there's a website, I think it's called Rocket Lawyer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
forgive me.
yes.
But you could go on those different websites and really read the contracts. They give you the templates. It explains
Great
everything.
advice.
And protect yourself with contracts. Make sure you get a deposit up front. Make
Right.
sure you get the rest of your money the day of. You know, just protect yourself at all costs. I know lawyers cost a lot of money, and you know, when
Right.
you're up and coming, you know, even when you're established, it still costs a lot of money. But there are some things that you could do on your own to save a dime to protect yourself. You know, and it's
Right.
all about just taking some time and just studying. Go, you know, the websites, the Google, all of that, those are all tools. They're learning tools.
Right.
So you go on there and you take a day, have your sandwich, you know, you sit down at home or the library, wherever you feel the most comfortable,
Right.
and you just read your contracts over, really add into your contracts what it is that you want, what it is that you charge, what you feel like you deserve, and you add all of that in there and perfect it and protect
And be
yourself.
prepared to go back and forth with that. You know
Right.
what I mean? A lot of people get so intimidated with the contracts, like, okay, well, when I send it, I don't want to scare them away. I mean, if they're really professional, they'll understand it's a back and forth thing until both parties is comfortable.
Exactly.
I want to also throw in another thing that I feel that people can take away from you. And we can quote Marion saying, reputation is gold. And
Yes, thank you.
having a great reputation and being consistent with it means everything. You know, people are always watching you and they're looking to see the consistency. And you have been consistent with keeping a beautiful reputation and supporting people, guiding them, seeing the vision. You're a visionary. Like you literally can see what is to come, and you orchestrate it so beautifully that it lands into an iconic 25th anniversary 3 damn times.
Yes, thank you.
3 times. You got Mary J. Blige 25th anniversary for My Life. You have Jay-Z 25th anniversary for Reasonable Doubt. You have FUBU 25th anniversary for their collection and collaboration with Puma. Like, you are the shit, Michelle.
Thank you.
Everyone who is affiliated with you is also the shit, and that's why they trust you with their brand, their reputation, and their life. And I thank you, Michelle, for this moment. Thank you, Queen. We waited so long for this.
Yay, we did it.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate this. And you are the sister of the year. Like, honestly.
Thank you so
Mary
much.
J. Blige confirmed it, but I think this just like, you made it official for many years. And I thank you, sis, for this. We will talk, continue. I thank everybody. Thank you for joining us on Fashion Let's Talk podcast. It was an honor to interview this queen and just discuss all that she's been a part of. And I can't wait to go to the new Black-owned restaurant that will be featured in Times Square. Everybody, please come join us. We will keep you updated on that. And to come and join us, get your bottles, get your food, tell a friend to tell a friend. And it's so many amazing things about to happen. So stay tuned, enjoy, and thank you for joining us at Fashion Let's Talk podcast. And thank you guys. See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, gorgeous.
Bye-bye.